wait until we will wait 4 or 5 minutes to see if more people can join, and then we'll start our webinar 2 as part of the IMERMAID Open Call. I noticed that that we have a participant that raised its hand. If this person could ask the question on the chat, that would be great. Okay, I see that you already wrote it. Apologies for not seeing it before. As this is an important question about eligibility, I will answer that at the end of the webinar. I will write down, nevertheless, for you not to be waiting for the end of the webinar, but this is an important question too, and you should find that answer as well in the webinar 1, in which we have the recording available. So we now have 12 participants on board. I don't want to keep you waiting. 1 more minute and we'll start the webinar since it will be recorded, Serena. I don't know about you, but I think it's plenty of time to allow the participants to join us. So 1 more minute and we'll start. Dear Serena, I will start the recording. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our second webinar of the IMERMAID Open Call 2, entitled Essentials for a Successful Application. As a reminder, I want to highlight that this session is being recorded, so for future viewing, in case you have any doubts or any questions that you need to check out the answers for. So we kindly ask you to submit your questions in the Q&A box. Also, on February 6th, we held our first webinar entitled How to Apply. And in this webinar, we covered the general aspects of your applications and the application process itself. So if you missed webinar 1, you can scan this QR code or go directly to our LinkedIn page. So it will direct you direct you to the page where the recording is available. Now, following the first webinar, in which we covered the aspects of the application process, we are moving to the next stage, which is what do we need to do and what do we need to know for a successful application. So, as you can see on our agenda, we will be discussing what happens after you submit your application. We will cover the evaluation process and for selected applicants, what to expect during the 9-month IMERMAID program. We will also address funding queries you might have. Of course, we will have time for questions and answers at the end of the presentation. And submit your questions through the Q&A box, which is located at the bottom of your screen. You can type them in, and we will answer them at the end of the session, conscious of the time, of course. And feel free to start asking your questions right away from the very beginning, and don't wait until the end of the presentation, because sometimes it's when we are listening to something that we remind ourselves of something that we are curious about and we haven't had a chance to clarify. So, moving along. Here is the F6S, apologies. Here is the F6S team that will be guiding you through the evaluation process. Ellie and myself, Daniela, we are both open call managers for the IMERMAID project. Those who attended the first webinar already know Ellie. My name is Daniela, and I will be your speaker for today. So let's move straight to the first topic that brought us here. I applied. You already submitted your application proposal on F6S platform. And now what's next? What do you need to expect? Well, as you know, the deadline for the applications is April 3rd at 5 p.m. Central Europe time. So once you submit your application, the deadline is April 3rd. Next, the evaluation stage starts. And after you apply, the application process goes through several stages. And as you can see on the screen, first, there is an eligibility check. We'll go through each one of these stages in the following slides. Then, if your application passes the eligibility check, it moves to a remote interview. And then, this one will be conducted by external evaluators. If it passes that stage as well, we will move to the interview stage, in which we have the remote evaluators and the IMERMAID team to then reach a consensus and select up to 5 proposals that are selected for this Open Call 2 and its associated program. After the evaluation phase, the ones that pass all of these phases will start the execution phase. They will enter this phase where, after signing the contracts, they will have 9 months to develop their program, which is assisted by the IMERMAID Consortium. For you to take a better look at each one of the evaluation phases. So, regarding the eligibility checklist, this is essentially an administrative checklist. You can see in here all of these points that we assess in your application based on the criteria that you can find in Annex 1, the guidelines for applicants. I will go briefly through each one of them. So, first, your application must be submitted through the F6S platform. This is the only official channel. Also, regarding the type of entities, only local and regional authorities are eligible for this open call funding. We will check if your associated region has already applied and been granted during the first open call, as the financial support is awarded to a region only once. Then we will check if your organization is eligible for funding and if there are any administrative or financial restrictions imposed. The only official language for your application is English. Keep that in mind. Also, we will check if your documents are complete, making sure that the proposal template is completely fulfilled, and as well as the application form on the F6S page. Finally, of course, we kindly ask you to have and to provide a timely submission. Since applications must be submitted before April 3rd, all the applications that are submitted after this time will not be evaluated. And the technical reasons usually they are not considered as justification. So considering that the open call is open for a substantial period of 2 months, there should be enough time. And in case you have any technical issues, you should reach out to us to better understand what's going on and to help you through that. So if your application, after the eligibility is conducted, your application either passes or fails. If you fail, you will receive an email stating which eligibility criteria were not met. If it passes, you will move to the next stage. So if your application moves forward, it goes to an in and out of scope screening, where it will be evaluated based on 2 criteria. Whether the scope, whether your proposal aligns with the objectives and scope of the IMERMAID project, and this is all thoroughly described in the Annex 1, the guidelines for applicants. And of course, you will be working on your specific use case, which relates to your challenges. So you need to align with the scope of IMERMAID, and we also expect you to point out relevant IMERMAID solutions that can be further assessed within your application, and additionally, the European dimension will also be evaluated. Similarly to the previous step, if you pass, you move forward to the next evaluation stage. If you do not pass, you will receive an email explaining why your application is not moving forward. So after this in and out of scope screening, you will enter the remote evaluation phase. In this stage, the remote evaluation involves at least 2 external experts who will assess your application. These evaluators are selected from a pool of experts who have expressed interest in participating in the evaluation of proposals. These experts must be absolutely unbiased and have no connection whatsoever to applications received under the IMERMAID Open Call 2. In this sense, they sign an agreement confirming no conflict of interest, and it is important for you to be aware of that. And here you can see some of the expertise profile we are looking for an external evaluator, which should match the content and the technical proposal that you are bringing to us when submitting your application. Now, let's move to the evaluators, to the evaluation criteria that the evaluators will use. So they will use criteria from these 3 main groups: excellence, impact, and implementation. So each criteria has sub-criteria that will be evaluated, and you have a general idea in this slide, but it is important for you to go to the guidelines for applicants to check out the description that is provided in there. For example, under the excellence, the ambition, we have a description of the ambition, problem description and motivation, soundness of the approach, and the credibility of the proposed methodology. These are the aspects that will be assessed. And all potential beneficiaries should familiarize themselves with these requirements as well. For impact, the solution uptake and the exploitation strategy and follow-up after the project's end will be evaluated. So during the 9 months of the IMERMAID program, you will assess the feasibility of applying the selected solutions. And we also expect, based on your activities, an assessment of the solution's exploitation potential and how it can be taken forward. Also, the environmental and social impacts will be assessed. Here you can see a list of initiatives that are under the European Union umbrella. We don't expect you to link your project to all of these strategies and directives. However, You must provide justification and link it to some. Finally, regarding the implementation, we will assess the assigned team and the expertise of your team. Also, the management skills and whether you can successfully execute the project. We will also assess the resources you propose. So, as stated before, everything I'm mentioning in here regarding the evaluation proposal and the criteria is available in the guideline for applicants. And you can see an example, how does it look in our document. You can see the scope of the evaluation and even the threshold, the criteria, and the evaluation that we need to expect from each one of these criteria. Now, regarding the remote evaluation, so before we were talking about the evaluation criteria, the external experts will evaluate your document, and then the ones that move to the remote evaluation can actually meet with them. So, regarding the remote evaluation, your application will be scored from 0 to 5. The threshold for each criterion is 3, and the overall threshold is 10. So, if your application doesn't meet any individual criterion or the cumulative threshold, it will not move forward. If it passes, it moves to the next stage, which involves the online interviews. The online interviews will last between 30 and 45 minutes with cameras on. You will be provided with a template to present your project, to standardize the way you are presenting the information to us, and you will have about 15 minutes to present your work. And participants from the IMERMAID consortium, the project coordinator, the technical partners, and the F6S representatives will be present. The main purpose of these online interviews is to clarify any doubts about the application, assess the team's potential, and also their expertise to fulfill the project goals. After the interview, a final consensus is reached, and up to 5 projects are selected in this open call too, and will enter the 9-month IMERMAID program. Every applicant that passes this stage will receive an evaluation summary report, and this report contains the comments and scores from the external evaluators. Now, let's move to the second section, in which we are going to talk about what happens when you are selected for the program. So, upon receiving the evaluation report and the congratulations for moving for the next stage, it is important to understand what's going to happen. And here's a brief timeline. So, following the final selection, up to 5 proposals will be chosen and invited to sign a subgrant agreement. It's a contract. So the contract and onboarding will occur up until July 2025. And then the IMERMAID program will commence, and it will start in July and end in March 2026. The contracting phase will begin with the acceptance notification from you, followed by the subgrant agreement negotiations. So after the open call evaluation and selection, the IMERMAID coordinator and the F6S will work with the selected proposal coordinators to prepare the contract, and it will include administrative and financial checks. You will need to provide proof of legal existence, a declaration of honor, bank account information, and then there is the signature of the subgrant agreement under a lump sum model. This agreement, this contract, will also detail some of the information that you provide us during the proposal phase, namely your mentoring plans, the KPIs, the deliverables that you are going to send to us for performance evaluation, and the project budget. Regarding the budget, ensure it only includes eligible costs. We will cover this a little bit further on the presentation. So after the contracting phase is over, we move to the onboarding phase. So the onboarding starts with an online kickoff event. It should take a couple of hours during a morning or an afternoon. It runs online, in which each beneficiary, each project will be assigned a technical mentor and an open call manager, which will be your administrative point of contact. The mentor will be more technical. It will provide support and feedback to all of you. It will evaluate your work. So after this kickoff event and signing off the mentor, you need to be aware that 3 online meetings are mandatory and are scheduled at the end of each sprint to check the status of your KPIs and overall achievements. So at each one of these sprints, you know that the IMERMAID program runs for 9 months, and these 9 months are divided into 3 stages, and at each one of these stages, you are expected to produce a report on your project status and the results. During the onboarding, you will also be reminded to participate in webinars and online training to achieve your best results. These events and webinars, usually running under the IMERMAID umbrella, they are important for you to build your capacity to implement and innovate solutions to address chemical pollutions. Your responsibilities during the onboarding will also include actively disseminating information about your project, your results, and IMERMAID, and any communication related with this action should and must give visibility to the EU funding, displaying the EU emblem and the others that enable the audience to understand and link your results to the IMERMAID project and its funding. So it's important to build a community around your work. Now, let's review the program for you to be reminded of how the stages are developed and how they unfold one after each other. As you can see, the program is structured to last 9 months, and it is divided into 3 stages. Stage 1, it is called use case definition, initiates each project and lasts up to 2 months. Stage 2 spans 4 months and focuses on implementing the activities outlined in your plan. This is why it takes longer. You will demonstrate the feasibility of your solutions and specified locations. Stage 3, concerning use case evaluation and feedback, takes 3 months, and it is dedicated to assessing the results from the previous stage and developing the exploitation plan. As you are aware, the payments will be made in 3 installments after the end of each stage. Represents 17, 58, and 25% of the total amount that you request on your budget, and based on your results and deliverables that you defined accordingly to each stage. All of these points that I'm saying here are in the guidelines for applicants, and you can review them later. And you must be aware that these points are also reviewed upon signing the subgrant agreement. Now, let's take a look and delve deeper into each one of these stages. So, stage 1, the first stage of the execution of the IMERMAID program, takes 2 months. And during this period, the beneficiary will receive support from their mentor to develop their individual mentoring plan and use case specifications. So this will include milestones, all the KPIs and deliverables that will be evaluated at the end of each stage. With your mentors, beneficiaries should identify the most suitable IMERMAID use case project as an example to evaluate compatibility between the activities and the chosen pilot. And you can also in here discuss a visit to the chosen pilot during any stage of your project. The individual mentoring plan will also be part of the subgrant agreement. So at these stages end, you will submit a report summarizing your results. Stage 2, use case implementation, lasts 4 months. In this case, the beneficiaries will execute the activities outlined in the implementation plan. Depending on the use case, the beneficiaries demonstrate activities such as roadmaps, field tests, sampling, proof of concept projects to prevent, eliminate, and remediate pollution in the associated regions. At this stage's end, you will also deliver a report on the use case implementation and other deliverables for us, for the mentors to verify the work performed and for you to receive your lump sum. Beneficiaries can also conduct meetings and workshops to assess the feasibility of the selected solutions. The final stage of this 9-month project is called use case evaluation and feedback. And in this case, you will evaluate the solution's uptake potential and deliver an exploitation plan outlining the technology adoption roadmap. You can conduct impact and feedback assessments. You can work on sustainability aspects and potential exploitation between the technology provider from IMERMAID and the applicants from the proposal. Additionally, the projects that are part of the IMERMAID project can conduct a final event to showcase their results, their solutions, to open the results to the community they are part of, and to initiate dialogue on water monitoring, remediation within the IMERMAID scope and to raise awareness of the topic that you developed. So, as part of this third stage regarding exploitation, you should know that the IMERMAID consortium experts can also provide assistance regarding stakeholder engagement and mapping methods if needed. So after this work, at the end of stage 3, you are expected to deliver, again, a report, a final report, and the exploitation plan detailing your project's process, achievements, and how it can be taken further. Now that we reviewed the 9-month program, it is important to understand the resources and support that you have available to accomplish it. So you will have mentorship, monitoring, and other options. So regarding mentorship, you will be assigned a mentor and have regular calls to ensure the timely delivery of your work. If you have any questions and are facing some challenges, this will allow the consortium and the mentors to understand your progress, technical progress, address any issues, of course, and provide technical evaluation of the results. You will coordinate with your mentor and, if needed, with other IMERMAID partners to discuss project needs. Besides the mentorship, you will also receive monitoring. In this case, an F6S member is appointed to monitor your progress, and it will be your first point of contact, providing you administrative support throughout these phases. We will track your project progress, we'll liaising with the project mentor, and of course, collecting and checking deliverables for reporting purposes. Additional assistance will be provided to maximize the project's exploitation potential. So this includes pairing with the IMERMAID cases for hands-on learning, allowing selected regions to follow the demonstration activities and learning outcomes closely and to understand the application of these solutions and replicate them effectively. Now, we are moving to the final part of this presentation, detailing the financial support and its release throughout the program. So we talked a little bit about the financial support when we were talking about the stages, but now let's see what else can I clarify to you. So first and foremost, iMermaid is a results-driven project, and payments are provided via a lump sum. So this means that the payments are released after each one of the stages and after the full completion of the KPIs and deliveries that you deliverables that you promised. Payment is provided via lump sum, and this means also that we do not gather actual costs and invoices, but we release the payment based on the achieved results, and this means that the deliverables, milestones, and KPIs will be checked at each stage's end. Based on the successful execution and evaluation, the payment will be provided. So the evaluation will occur with your mentors, F6S, and the project coordinator, where you will present your report with the results and deliverables. Deliverables will also be evaluated by your mentors and through interviews and based on a successful outcome. The first, second, and third installments of funding will be released. If something is not as requested, the applicants will receive feedback on improving the deliverables they submitted and their activities, and they will have an additional time to submit the report. If successfully evaluated, you'll receive the funding. If something is drastically unacceptable, measures will be taken. However, we haven't had such situations, and we are confident that the applicants will finalize their use cases successfully and each one of the stages. A reminder that although we do not collect actual costs and invoices from you, all the relevant documents should be kept for 5 years after the project's end in case of an audit. Okay, so be mindful to save all of the documents and proofs of the way you spend the grant upon these 9 months. As a reminder, payments are provided in 3 installments with the percentages showed here, 17, 58, and 25%. You can see here that the 58% it's connected with the second stage that involves the most work, hence the largest installment. So before we provided an example with a table that showed 100K, but the funding will be adjusted according to the received amount and the budget that you send us. The timeline and the details will be, of course, in the grant agreement. Now that we had the opportunity to take a look at the funding, how it will occur, the different stages, it's important for you to know what will the grant fund. You will find this list of activities as well in the guidelines for applicants, but it's important for you to be aware that when writing your proposal, you will work on your use case linked to your regional, the challenges of your areas, always aligned with the IMERMAID objectives and testing specific IMERMAID solutions. So the grant will fund activities that include removing contaminants, pollutant monitoring, remediation, defining regional pollutants, required remediation actions, investment in software and hardware. In here, make sure that we are only talking about depreciation costs. It's the only thing that the grant covers. Travel, dissemination, communication, and of course, exploitation, impact assessment, and minor subcontracting that can be covered up to 30%. So almost reaching out the end of the presentation today, remember to consult all the official documents of the Open Call 2 for you to have all the necessary information to move forward with your application. These documents are on the website under the Open Call tab. You have the Annex 1 that has the guidelines for applicants. You have information about the iMermaid project and the iMermaid Open Call. the objectives, the aim and scope, the eligibility criteria of applicants, financial assessments, everything that relates with the proposal submission and evaluation is also provided in there. You can also take a look, you should take a look to the technical specification of IMERMAID, where the IMERMAID solutions are described in more detail, sometimes providing some detailed information with images and graphs, and Annex 2. In this case, Annex 2 is the proposal template. This one is a Word document that you should use to fill in your information and to attach and upload in the F6S platform as part of your proposal registration and submission. For Open Call 1, we recorded an info session with specific solutions for the IMERMAID. You can also check that out to help you understand the IMERMAID solutions better. So here you have an example on how does it look, the submission under the F6S platform. This is the only official channel. You can click on the link on the website to be redirected to the F6S application form. You can fill it in, upload your proposal, and submit it before the deadline. So we have reached the end of the presentation. Let's see if there are any questions. You can write them down on the Q&A, on the chat. Okay, we have some questions in here. So first of all, there was a question about the eligibility, asking if all European countries are excluded as partners. So the Open Call 2 is an open call dedicated to extend the demonstration of the IMERMAID solutions to new associated regions. So the first open call was focused on the IMERMAID, on the Mediterranean region, and now it's expanded to external areas. Similarly to the first open call, the eligibility is the following. All member states are eligible, okay, and associated countries. You will find on the website and on the guideline for applicants a list where you can check the full list of the member states and associated regions that can be eligible for the Horizon Europe support. However, in the open call, there are regions that are not eligible. And in this case, we are talking about regions located in the countries that are participating as part of the IMERMAID project. So F6S is based in Ireland, so we are not expecting applications from applicants in Ireland. However, we and other countries as well. So go to the website and guidelines for applicants to check out the full list. The non-eligible countries are the ones that are already participating as part of the IMERMAID project. And as also, apart from this, there are some non-eligible regions, which are the ones that won the first granting phase of the first open call. And these are based in Bosnia, Turkey, and Moldova, specific regions. So please consult the list on the website and on the guideline for applicants. Let me know if you have any questions regarding this. I know that we have some more questions in here. I can start answering to the next one. So to prove an organization is local or regional, what type of document is needed? So Usually, we ask for the proof of legal existence when moving forward in the evaluation phase, and we will ask you to provide us proof. So usually some administrative document highlighting who you are and what you do is enough, but it should be an official document proving that you are indeed a local or regional entity. Guidelines mention letter to confirm this, but who provide this letter? The ministry. Well, if there's a way for you to provide this document instead of going to the ministry, it's okay. But usually internal documents just highlighting what kind of company, in this case, what kind of entity it is enough for us to understand and to check out the proof of existence and what kind of entity we are talking about. Bianca, let me know if I answered to your question. Another one that's in here, it's about the financial part. So projects are funded through 3 lump sums. The first phase, 17,000 K, 58, etc. Do our project have to be follow this ration of terms, or if we have request for preparatory phase, the maximum available amount 17, can we have implementation phase with much less funds? So we have seen before that we have 3 stages with different duration in terms of time and effort regarding their implementation. So it is expected that for each one of these phases, you have a percentage of your budget allocated that respects these amounts, as this will reflect the amount of work and effort that will be placed. If you request more than the 17% or more than that percent in which one of these stages, we will need to evaluate that further on and probably ask you for a justification, because these guidelines and this separation in terms of stages and the amount for the lump sum enables you to have an idea on how much effort should be placed and how much work you need to develop under these stages. Maybe it's important for you to also reevaluate how to work in each one of these stages and how to assign tasks in each one of them. Bianca, let me know if you if this is clear for you. I will take the opportunity to do the following. I will highlight that we have our website, the IMERMAID website, which should be our first point of entry and contact to know the general data and specifications about the open call. You will have information in here to allow you to understand what is aimed for the open call, to understand what's in it for you to have a general overview of the eligible entities, of course, and most importantly, through the website, you will have access to the open call documents. So I emphasize the importance of going to the website and checking out these documents to better understand, okay, what's in it for us and how can we improve. Also, be aware that if you have any questions, you can write to us at opencall@imermaid.eu. So there are some more questions in here. Bianca, you are also interested in the procurement of equipment from the technical specifications. So, from where is the purchase done? So, if you are hoping to buy some equipment yourself, you should be conscious of the fact that only depreciation costs are covered. However, you need also to be mindful that not all the use cases can provide you with technical, let's put it like this, equipment for you to use. So you should put that on writing in case you are looking for this kind of assistance from the iMermaid. Another thing, let me see. Okay. Thank you for the great presentations. Thank you. Thank you as well. Our proposal entails activities to remove contaminants, but we understand that the proposal is for tertiary treatments. It is also possible to include primary treatment because we lack it and believe it is necessary to start with primary treatment before moving to tertiary treatment. Okay, so the open call aims to tackle activities to remove contaminants, even to define regional pollutants. So I believe it is open for the primary treatment if you want to test and showcase solutions, and if you want to employ or take advantage of these iMermaid solutions as part of your own use case. You also ask, another question is, there is a specific catalog or suppliers for the equipment that is suggested by the iMermaid team. So for this question in particular, I kindly ask you to go to the technical annex or as part of your proposal, reach out to us and ask which kind of equipment would you expect to use, because for in this instance we probably would not be able to send several equipments for the applicants to test, but it's important to see what is available from each one of the use cases and each one of the technical partners that are developing solutions. So reach out to us so we can understand if the answer to your question is aligned with what you are asking me. So there is a question from LinkedIn as well. So this is a tricky question. The question that we have from LinkedIn is it allowed to apply for a bioremediation tool to clean wastewater, which can then be released into the ocean, example, islands or at coastal buildings? So I will remind you again of the different activities that can be funded. It can be activities to remove contaminants. So if you are applying to a bioremediation tool that fits the activities to remove contaminants, pollutants, if it's part of a remediation action, it fits actually the eligibility for the open call. So take a look at the guidelines for applicants and see if that fits the activities that the grant agreement, that the guidelines for applicants are covering. I don't see any more questions. I know that we have 11 more minutes until the end of the webinar. I'm glad that you had some questions for us, and I'm glad that you even asked about eligibility concern, that you showed your eligibility concerns and so on. Feel free to reach out to us. Again, we have our email opencall@iMermaid. We'll respond within 48 hours. If you have specific questions about the region you are applying, reach out to us. We hope to be available to reply to you and to give you the best of knowledge for you to provide applications. The IMERMAID Open Call is an excellent opportunity for the local and regional authorities to receive funding, in which you can work with use cases from IMERMAID, develop your own internal pilots, and also learn from the outcomes of IMERMAID, addressing your challenges, and of course, testing the innovative solutions developed by you. So be mindful that everything will be available: mentorship, expertise, solutions, and of course, funding. So we hope you submit your applications, and we really hope that you submit them, you reach out to us with questions. And in case you already submitted your application and you need to resend it again, either write to us at Open Call or at support@fsuccess, because we can help you better understand how to make the process easier. Let me check the Q&A again. I don't know if you have any more questions on LinkedIn as well, Serena, if you wouldn't mind checking. Okay, so we have more questions. So I see applicants are local or regional public authorities. Can they apply jointly with companies or universities in a consortium? And are there any limits in how budget is shared among consortium partners? Well, the granting is expected to be released to local and regional authorities. There is room for subcontracting activities. You might also want to join that, but there are no limits in how budget is shared among consortium partners. But the open call is open to local and regional public authorities, and you might join as part of a subcontracting party to the application. Someone is asking, we are a Mediterranean country. We want to know if we can include Italy as a partner. So in this case, Italy is part of one of the non-eligible countries. So the answer here should be no. Also, another question by G is, as you said, only countries participating in the consortium are not eligible. So to be clear about the eligible entities for the IMERMAID Open Call 2, the IMERMAID Open Call 2 comes from the IMERMAID project. And the IMERMAID project is made of several partners which built the IMERMAID consortium. So the partners from this consortium are not eligible and are not expected to be will not be part of the funding application. So we have this list in the guidelines for applicants, and also you can have access to it through our website. So go there and check out what are the non-eligible countries. For you to have an idea, the partners from IMERMAID are based in Austria, Belgium, Cyprus, Finland, France, Germany, Ireland, Spain, Tunisia, Ukraine. So partners from these countries are not eligible for the open call. But for you to be more aware of these partners, always reach out to the guidelines for applicants. And if you have specific questions that you need more data, just reach out to us through our email, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Dear Serena, I don't know if we have any more questions. We have 6 minutes left. I already took a minute to show you the IMERMAID website. You have sections for you to look out specific information in which by reading it, you should be able to understand if it fits the purpose of the work that you would like to propose. But anyway, reach out to us to better understand the eligibility, feasibility. So let's move forward, and we hope you submit your applications. We will be glad to have you on board. Dear Serena, thank you so much. I see that we have no more questions. There are 5 minutes left. I would like to thank you for joining us, and have a lovely day. If you would like to reach out to us, here is our email. Reach out to us and have a nice day. Goodbye, everyone.